Well, it seems like a good way to start out a video. My breakfast for today. Voila. Remember, I recently transitioned from Teflon pans, non-stick pans that, get chemicals in your body and blah, 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 to the old-fashioned cast iron. And it's just working out great. That's sausage from the pig that I get from my sister, homemade sausage. Got a local butcher. The stuff doesn't stick. I got some of the potatoes that I canned up in the bottom there. Put the eggs on top. Give it a good fry. Then we're gonna have breakfast. Alright. I'll bring you back when I know what I'm doing today. Well, I know what I'm doing, but I'll bring you back when I'm doing it. Alright folks, so it's August 15th. And this is what I'm starting out with here today. I got 2 crispers of cucumbers. This might be the most cucumbers so far. I'm finishing up with my first planting of cucumbers, and my second planting has started. And I've been complaining a little bit. This is my second planting cucumber that I'm not real happy with. This is a real authentic Carey. This is supposed to be a Carey. This is my second planting, but it's not. So they're just not as crunchy. These are the European. They're certainly not as crunchy, but I'm just gonna go for it and get them all in jars and be happy about it. So this is really kind of a rinse and repeat from last week doing these cucumbers. Maybe I'll try to do a better job at step by step and bringing you along. So here we go. Dill pickles again. Alright, I got all those cucumbers cut up. Got them into 4 bags. I think before I only had 2 bags. So I guess I got a lot of pickles today. So I added salt, shook them up. I'm going to put them in the refrigerator and go do some errands for at least 2 to 4 hours. I'll come back after that salt pulls the water out of the cucumbers. Alright, so I did 4 bags. This is the smaller bag. But see how much water is in that? That's more than the last time. I don't know if I let it sit in the refrigerator more or not. Put a little more salt in there. I'm not sure, but a lot of water in that bag. I'm happy about that. I'm gonna instead of just dumping this out, I'm gonna fill this bag up with water and then dump it out into the colander, because those cucumbers soak up a lot of salt. I don't put any salt in the brine for this. So I'm going to fill that up with water, drain it, get the jars ready, and then I'll bring you back and show you what I'm doing. Making more dill pickles. Alright, I got the jars. Got the cucumbers in there, got the dill on the top. I got dill on the bottom. I got red pepper flakes on the bottom. Heating up the brine, vinegar and water. I'm using regular mouth. Usually I use wide mouth jars, but I used up all mine and you just can't buy them. Everybody and their brother's canning this year. So I could buy these. I don't think you can get as much in them, but that's what I got. So as soon as I got the brine hot, I'm gonna get the brine in the jars, get them in the Carey. I got the Carey warming up. So we'll get these jarred up. Alright, I got the first 5 jars all filled up, ready to go. Got the tops on them. Got the Carey warming up. As soon as that starts boiling, I'll stop it and put the first batch in here. If you're watching this video because you did a search for this Carey, that's how I found out about it. And So that's why you're watching this, uh, to learn about this Carey. I've been very satisfied with it. The instructions were a little sketchy, but there's a ton of instructions on YouTube, and it's like anything, you learn how to use it, and it's just worked out great for me. Small scale. It's hot outside. I can still do pickling, or canning. I did plenty of pressure canning with it. It's just really worked out great for me. A lot better than the old pressure canner that my mom's got and my grandma's got. It's just really worked out for me. So if you're thinking about one of these things, I don't know how you could go wrong unless you think you're going to do a ton of preserves. This is not a high production. It holds 5 pints. But for water bath, most of the time it only takes 10 minutes. Once it's to process it, once it's hot. Once I get going here, these next batches will go pretty fast. It's about as fast as I get the jars full and ready to go, the batch will be done. There it is. It's boiling now. So what I want to do is turn it off. Well, I think that might have made it just start counting. There you go. Turned it off. It's warmed up. Let me open it. Yep, I can open it. It's not unsafe to open it at this point. And I'm gonna get the jars in there, top it off with water, and get it going. So I gotta take a quick break. All right, I got the jars in there. I put enough water in there to cover the jars. I just put a little bit of vinegar in there. It does make a difference. I got a little bit of hard water here. Makes the jars a lot cleaner. Close this top up. Put it on water bath. It's only going to take 10 minutes to process them once it all is hot and boiling. And press start. And away you go. And I'll work on the next batch while that's working on getting processed. Alright, good deal. Alright folks, so it's Sunday morning, and this is what I did all day yesterday. All these dill pickles. I got 20 jars out of all those cucumbers. They look pretty nice. Just, I don't know, more dill pickles, that's all I can tell you. I got the dill in there, the red pepper flakes, the garlic. They all sealed up real nice. Apple cider vinegar. So I got that done. And then yesterday too, I went out in the barn, started digging around my grandmother's old jars. There's a bunch of the bale tops, ones that have the glass tops. There's a few of these. I don't know if I'm going to use those bale tops or not, but that's a half-gallon jug here. I think that's too tall for my canner, but I'm going to probably use it for dry storage. And I'm going to experiment with, that's a quart, and that's a half-gallon. I guess I got 2 half-gallons. Anyways, I'll clean them up, figure out how to use them. And if I can use my regular rings and lids. That's a wide mouth and that's a narrow mouth, but I don't know if they'll fit in my canner. Alright, so let's come over here, and this is the project of the day. These are all the peppers that I got. A friend of mine gave me these. These are supposed to be hot peppers. These are, I guess I call them yellow peppers. I talked about them early in the year. That these, I'm going to just rinse them up, put them on this tray, and roast them in the toaster oven, and eat them like little poppers. They're just sweet little great things. I've been looking forward to these. I discovered it by accident a couple years ago, and I've been picking them while they're green, so maybe now I'll know enough to leave them, let them get yellow, and I can have more of these nice little poppers. So I'm going to get these all cut up. I'm going to make a brine that includes red pepper flakes, so that this will be definitely a spicier batch of pickled peppers. Won't be a whole lot, but that's what I'm going to do right now. Show you later. Alright, I got all my peppers cut up. I got this brine here. I got some red pepper flakes in there. I put mustard seed in there, celery seed, and I guess that's it. Oh, I put in 1 cup of sugar. Wanted to make cowboy candy, but really had to decide not to because of sugar. So, very limited sugar. Put all the peppers in there. Let it do its thing for just a few minutes, not long, and then we'll get it in the jar. Alright, I'll bring you back. There's the those yellow peppers. They're done. I'm just too busy to stop and eat them, but I'll get them. Alright, I got these last 5 jars. I got 3 jars of those peppers. That's all that made. When you preheat them, pre-blanch them, pre-cook them a little bit, they pack in the jars a lot better. So that only made 3. So I went out in the garden and picked some green pear tomatoes, and I didn't put them in the pot. I just stuck them in the jar and filled it up with brine. And I'm going to stick them in the Carey here. And I have this many more tomatoes that I picked too much. So I'm going to fill up 1 more jar, use up the rest of my brine, and just stick it in the refrigerator. Once upon a time I told you that pickling can be as technical or as simple as you want it, and refrigerator pickles is the simplest way to go. And you know, one of the things that I do, you know, I understand the basic principle of canning. This vinegar, pickle stuff, water bath, you're creating the acid in the vinegar, creates a very hostile environment. Bacteria can't survive as long as you got a good seal. And you know, so you understand that you can whip together recipes pretty easy. You know, and you want more vinegar, less vinegar. This recipe has 2 parts vinegar, 1 part water. A lot of recipes are 1 part water, 1 part vinegar. So understanding canning and the process that preserves this is really important. Same thing with recovery. You can be told what to do, you can do it, but it's really, I don't advise canning if you don't understand the canning process. If you're just going to follow a recipe and follow what people tell you on YouTube, you're going to be a very, very second-rate canner. If you understand recovery, learn from other people, and do it yourself, your recovery from mental illness to mental health is going to be way, way better. Alright, so I'm going to keep these moving, and we'll come back and do a wrap up and a tally for the weekend. Alright, so I'm making up a bit of lunch here. And I got some of these brats that I made hot. I just took it out of the microwave, so I'm going to let that sit. Here's those yellow peppers. These are the ones that I planted 2 peppers per bucket, so that's a lot of competition in 1 bucket, and so the peppers stay nice and small. Put them in a toaster oven, and these things are like eating candy from the garden. I just love eating these things. I already ate 3 or 4 of them. So I'm going to have these, and there you go. And that for breakfast. Out of the garden, out of the can, out of the jar. Alright folks, so my total for this weekend's canning was 20 more jars of dill pickles. And one of the reasons I really like those is there's no added sugar. And when I eat them with hummus, it just works out great. I love it. So I got 20 jars of dill pickles and 3 jars of pickled peppers. And in order to fill up the Carey, when I processed those 3, I made 2 jars of pickled tomatoes. I picked the small Roma, the small pear tomatoes. They're a lot meatier, a lot less water. So they ought to be just great too. And one of the things that happened is my wife really likes using the canned potatoes. They're just very handy to have on hand. Open a jar and put them right into. She's been frying up, sauteing up her squash. I'll show you some of that. And the squash is coming in strong. We're going to have to figure out how to can some of that. So, very handy. I'm going to have to make more of these for sure. I've been eating the beans with the meat or without the meat. So, we're using some of it up and getting a second use out of the can, out of the jars already. So, things are going really good. Up to 158 jars so far. Alright, so I got some bonus feature here for you. I want to show you something. Don't go away. Alright, well, in an attempt to get her kitchen back, my wife bought me this little cabinet. I had to do a little work on the door to get it closed right. Had to repair one of the shelves inside, but it fits in our little space here in our house. So I'm very happy to. It's a primitive style. I like primitive. And she's going to paint it this week. And then I'll get it filled up. So I got my little cabinet now. Alright, that's another week of canning with the Carey. Things are going good. I got like 4 bags of tomatoes in the freezer. And so I'm going to make ratatouille this weekend. And what else? I don't know. Well, stay tuned. Alright, thanks for being here. Have a great day. Work on your recovery.